It started as an ordinary Saturday morning in the quiet suburb of Maplewood, but by the end of the day, the entire neighborhood would be talking about one moment, one gala that revealed far more than anyone expected. It began when 47-year-old John Kennedy, a single father and IT technician, decided to update his home Wi-Fi system. What he didn't know was that his next-door neighbor, Karen Mitchell, a woman well known in the neighborhood for her vigilant eye, was watching closely from behind her curtains, ready to make a call that would change both of their lives. Job had just bought a new router. He was in his yard, crouched near his window with a few cables and a screwdriver in hand, trying to fix a connection issue. From Karen's point of view, however, it looked suspicious, too suspicious. She saw John unscrewing something near his electrical box and thought he was trying to hack into someone's home network. Within minutes, she was on the phone with 911, her voice trembling with exaggerated panic. "There's a man tampering with the power box. He looks dangerous. I think he's trying to break in." Two police cars pulled up moments later, sirens off but lights flashing. John, confused and a little startled, stood up with his screwdriver still in hand as two officers approached cautiously. "Sir, please drop the tool," one officer ordered. John blinked, completely unaware of what was happening. "Drop a broken bar, my screwdriver. What's going on?" Karen had come outside by now, arms crossed tightly, watching from the safety of her porch. "I told you," she said. "He's always tinkering with things. He's up to something. He's been stealing Wi-Fi, I just know it." But when the officers began asking questions, the truth unraveled quickly. John calmly showed them his new router, still in its box, and his laptop showing a setup screen with the label Kennedy Home_5G. The officers exchanged glances. "Ma'am," one said carefully, "has a broken bar setting up his own Wi-Fi." Karen's face flushed red, but before anyone could speak further, the situation took a surprising emotional turn. One officer, noticing the clutter of old devices and tools inside John's open garage, asked, "You do this kind of work often?" John nodded modestly. "Yeah, I fix electronics for neighbors sometimes, mostly free. I lost my wife a few years ago, so it keeps me busy. My daughter loves helping too." That's when little Emily, John's 10-year-old daughter, peeked out the front door. "Dad, is everything okay?" she asked softly. The tension in the air cracked like a storm fading after thunder. The officer's demeanor shifted immediately. One of them knelt to reassure Emily. "Everything's fine, sweetheart. Your dad's not in trouble." But it wasn't fine for Karen. Standing there, she felt the sting of guilt. She had judged the man not because of what he'd done but because of her own assumptions. For months, she had isolated herself, suspicious of everyone around her, fearful of changes she couldn't control. The moment was humbling. She tried to apologize, but her voice faltered. "Yeah, broken bar. I'm sorry, John. I just thought." John, though shaken, managed a tired smile. "It's all right. Maybe next time, just ask before calling the cops." His tone wasn't angry, it was worry, but kind. Over the next few days, something unexpected happened. Karen showed up at John's door, and not with excuses, but with a peace offering, a tray of homemade cookies and an awkward smile. "I read about how to secure Wi-Fi passwords," she said, almost embarrassed. "Maybe you could teach me a bit more about tech stuff. I clearly need it." That simple gesture started something neither of them anticipated, a friendship. Job helped her set up her own router properly, taught her basic internet safety, and soon, Karen found herself laughing for the first time in months. She admitted that loneliness had made her paranoid. She had lost her husband years ago, too, and didn't realize how fear had quietly taken over her life. By the end of the week, the same police officers who once responded to that 911 call returned not for an emergency, but for a community tech class John and Karen organized together. It was a small event, just neighbors helping neighbors, but it was powerful. Karen stood beside John, introducing him as the best tech teacher on the block. The incident that began with fear ended with connection. What started as a misunderstanding turned into a lesson in empathy, communication, and second chances. In a world where everyone is quick to judge, one mistaken call became a reminder. Sometimes the threat we see in others is really just a reflection of our own fears, but when we take the time to understand instead of assume, we discover something truly shocking of how much good there still is in people. And that's the story of how a calm meant to divide a neighborhood ended up bringing it together. Because sometimes, what shocks every broken bar isn't what's wrong with people, it's how much they're capable of making things right.